So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and an update on some of the painting projects I've been working on. I have to say I haven't done that much painting in the last couple of weeks, primarily because I went away for a few days and also it's been so bloody hot here in the UK. I haven't really been bothered to do painting and I've been sitting outside and doing other things, which I thoroughly recommend to everybody. Don't just sit there wedged to your desk painting all the time. Get out and do some other things as well. So that's what I've been doing. That said, I have done a fair bit. I've done a bit and sort of show off some of the projects that I've been working on. So first up, here's 6 Parthian horse archers. These are new line miniatures, 28 mils. They're a little bit dated as models, but I'm going to use them actually in my, look away purists, I'm going to use them in my fantasy OathMark army, just because I had the figures and I wanted to just give it a go in terms of this particular unit that I want to try out in OathMark. And yeah, so I've painted them up that way. They are, I'd say, fairly basic models. They're okay, nothing bad, but a little dated in terms of the figures, but pretty reasonable, I think. New line. In fact, recently I believe they had a big sale on because to mark, was it 20 years in the business, something like that. So just painted them up fairly generically, and as I say, they are going to form part of my OathMark fantasy army. But nice to get them done. Nice to get them out of the pile. So next up on the turntable is the this unit of 20 dwarf warriors for my OathMark army. Now don't tell Ken because this will annoy him. So Ken, who I played OathMark with, and we're about to play another one, he loves dwarves. And I've got my orc army, but the beauty of OathMark is you can swap races depending on the story you want to tell. And in my story, there is a Dwarven city of very greedy, selfish dwarves who love gold more than they love anything else. And that's why they're fighting in an orc army, because they've been recruited that way. And there's more opportunity for gold. That's my story. So I've painted them up that way. I put lots of extra gold on them to make them look bright. So the edging on the shields, the edging on the helmets is all gold. And I think these come out really nice. I'm quite pleased with them. These are new manufacture on me. I think they're called Conqueror miniatures. Don't have a huge range, but these dwarves were in their range and they were pretty reasonable and they look really good. So I picked up enough for this unit. The standard is one of my homemade standards. You may have seen it when I was doing the video on that. Link above here with the to how I did those videos, or how I made those banners and standards. But yeah, this is one of those standards, and I'm quite pleased again how that has turned out. So there you go, dwarf warriors joining my OathMark army. Shh, don't tell Ken. So I said in one of my earlier videos that I've been doing a lot of sort of terrain and civilians and animals, various other things for use in the Muskets and Tomahawks games, but also in the infamy rules, because they all seem to require, they're very scenario or very story driven, and they need sort of extra things to make the game come alive. In fact, Sharp does too, Sharp practice. So I got some animals. So here's the Shire horse and the cow from the set I showed you the last time. And these are various different types of carts. These are MDF ones. I think they're Sarissa. I forget. I'm sorry. I should remember where they came from, but I can't remember. And you basically got 3 carts like this, and they're obviously fairly early ones. They've got the sort of solid wheels rather than anything else. You've got the flatbed one, you've got the slightly raised one, and the very in-depth one. No horses to go with them, but I did manage to pick up a couple of spare horses, which I'm in the process of painting up, which can be used to, not exactly the right horses, and if I get around to it I might get some more heavy-duty cart horse, or maybe some oxen might be a better option for these sort of carts. Anyway, they're in the process of being painted up. These were some horses I picked up, can't remember now where, ages ago, probably been in the boxes. So there you go, more terrain type thing. So next up, Portuguese battalion. This one's especially for my mate Leslie, who I know follows avidly what I've been working on, and was very, very upset that I kept painting loads and loads of figures. And on my painting table you could clearly see Portuguese sitting there waiting to be done. And I did say I will get round to doing them, and so here they are. This is, I forget which Fusilier regiment this one is, but it's largely plastic warlords, and then there's a few to make up the command figures, some metal figures from, I forget, doesn't matter. If I remember I'll put it in underneath. And also a metal general from the same company, I forget. So easily done, just using the blue. What did I use? I used Vallejo, what's that? Vallejo medium and blue. That's what I used. And then just every so often I just painted some of the trousers differently. Some have got white trousers because often they did. Some have got grey. There's a couple of brown, I think, as well, just to sort of break it up and give a bit of variety. They're all Fusiliers, so they've all got the white plumes. Yeah, not much more to say about them, except they paint up pretty nicely. This is one of the standards that you get in the box with the Warlords figures. I think I bought the actual plastic figures in the Warlords sprue sales, so when I did my Garage of Shame, you'll have seen I had a whole load of Warlords sprues that I'd bought in the sale, and this was the Portuguese. Got another 24 to do. I don't know whether to do them as Cacadors or Fusiliers, but we'll see. They'll take a little while more to get done because I'm going to be moving on to other Napoleonic projects, as you know. So there you go, that's all done. I'm quite pleased with how they've come out. Another regiment ready to fight, and actually the Fusiliers have performed really, really well when I've used them in our shot practice games. They've tended to be a ball magnet. They've been hit and repeatedly hit, but they stick in there. And that's very, very good. So I may well try and field a second regiment just to see whether they perform as well as the first one. So there you go. So that's what I've been up to. Not as many figures as previously, but lots of other projects, and also during this period we had all that lovely hot weather, which definitely slowed me up. Also, I've actually been getting typically 2 games a week in at the moment, which is fantastic, but it does mean that impacts my painting time because, you know, family and work and other things get in the way. But, you know, I'm not going to grumble. Gaming is always better than painting in my book. But nice to get a few more done out the plastic stash, and nice to sort of, get some of those plastics away that I'd been sitting there waiting to do for ages. So I hope you're doing well, hope your projects are going well, hope you're enjoying a bit of gaming if you're managing to get it, hope you're staying safe and well. This is Dom signing out, and I'll see you again soon.